I'm Igor Kayfetz, and this is the List Building Lifestyle, a podcast for those who want to build a large profitable email list and make six figures from anywhere in the world. If you would like to get rich by building a large email list while helping people, this podcast is for you. I also invite you to attend a free web class I'm conducting this week to find out how I built a list of 4,331,656 email subscribers at a profit. Secure your free seat at igor.cx. Attend this free workshop to discover an easy way to get 50 to 500 new email leads per day on complete autopilot without losing tons of money. Just go to igor.cx to attend this free web class. And now, once again, it's time to claim your list building lifestyle. Welcome back to another edition of the List Building Lifestyle with your host, Igor Kayfetz. And today I've got a great guest, somebody who I've been trying to get on the show for a long time now, but it's really hard because he's either traveling in Morocco or he's launching a brand new program. He's conducting 17 webinars, one after another in the span of 3 days. Brendan Mace, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey man, what's going on? Thank you so much for having me on, dude. I've been a huge fan for a long time, so it's a big honor.
Oh, trust me, it's mutual because you've succeeded in affiliate marketing and launching products. You've been really one of the most active players in the game recently. In fact, that's one of those things about this industry is that you don't see people stick to it over the long haul. It's as if things are so easy for some people that they find a way to screw it up and they kind of move away from things, or maybe just the shiny object syndrome, who knows. But I know that you've been very consistent at following one particular model that's been making you about 60 to 80, correct me if I'm wrong, $1,000 per month.
Yeah, that's pretty much the ballpark. I'd say it's anywhere from about 50 to 100. Like 100, and so 60 days right in the average spot for sure. And I pretty much have this formula down that I've been kind of tweaking and testing every single month. I kind of get a little bit better at my craft, so to speak. And I think you're probably right in the fact that a lot of people kind of probably get bored and move on. The way I do things, I more just streamline it so it doesn't involve me as much anymore. And I can kind of mostly have an automated business that brings in a pretty good income.
Yeah, because, just in the last month when we're trying to set up this interview, I know you traveled to several different countries. And while you did that, you were still able to make that kind of money. You were still able to operate your business. And, you're really and truly living the sort of lifestyle that most of our listeners aspire to live. Not to mention that you go on to build ginormous buyers lists virtually for free. So I'm really excited about this call. I'm really excited about to dive deep into your strategy and get understanding about how exactly you pull it off. But before we do, just to give us some context, can you share with us when did you start online? What were some of the things you tried that didn't work? And how did you end up finding out about this particular approach?
So I basically jumped online maybe about 8 years ago, something like that. But for a large portion of time, probably 6 or 7 years, the vast majority of that time, I didn't really take it too seriously. I was making little bits of money here or there, but I never really took it that seriously at all. Kind of when I started to, build a brand and become much bigger in business was about 1.5 years ago. And that was a huge transition and turning point for me, which, like you said, I started to focus on, being on the other side of the transaction, becoming a seller, creating these product launches, getting these buyer leads, and then leveraging those buyer leads to make money. So that was kind of the turning point for me. I used to be a high school teacher, so this was kind of stuff that I'd be running on the side. But I think kind of like a mindset thing, like you were sort of hinting towards earlier, if you're really comfortable, it's hard to have that breakout success. So because I was getting paid a salary from teaching and I was making little bits of money, I never really had that fire or that burning desire to push it further. It was only kind of in between when I kind of quit my job, kind of went through the worst in my life that I managed to come out of it and sort of figure out this formula that's been working for me.
So your high school teacher turned a full-time multiple six-figure internet marketer where you're able to make this outrageous amounts of money part-time while having other people build you a buyer list for free. Now, as somebody who specializes in paid traffic, as you know, and somebody who preaches paid traffic, this idea is, of course, very interesting to me and most of my listeners, I'm sure. But I also understand that it's not like a one-two-step kind of thing. So there's probably some intricacies to the system. There's probably some challenges to it. So can you give us just the straight up, how it works and exactly what are the components we need to have in place in order to pull this off?
Okay, so the way that I look at it is that kind of I'm also in the paid traffic business as well, but just sort of in a different way. The paid traffic for me is paying these affiliates essentially to send traffic to my product. And when you're just starting out, it's actually a successful win if you just break even. And I'm sure that's kind of probably similar to going the paid traffic and funnels model as well. Because if you're breaking even and you're building up your buyers list, now you have a database of customers that you can contact anytime and make money with. Now, in my industry, there's kind of like three groups of people. There's the consumers, there's the affiliates, and then there's the people that actually list and put out the product. Now, when I had my first major success and made more money online than I ever had before, because I was making maybe about 6,000 or 7,000 was kind of what I got to with how I was making money online before this. The first time that I put out a product, I made 70,000 that month. And it was totally a game changer for me. And what I found kind of along the way is as long as you can keep if you're the vendor, as long as you can keep those other two groups of people happy, you can make a lot of money.
Right. So if you can keep the consumers happy and the affiliates happy, obviously for two different reasons. Consumers must be happy, so there's no refund, so they want to buy the product. And so anytime you launch a new product, which is another part of the model, you have to keep doing this, I guess, occasionally, so they keep buying. Now, the affiliates are, again, I'm just going to kind of bridge the gap for some of the people who may not understand all the terms. Affiliates are the people who are driving traffic to the offer you put together and are getting commissions for referring the sales. So in other words, if you're putting out a product that costs $50 and I'm your affiliate, I'm sending out an email to my list with my special link. And if somebody buys through my link, I get, say, $25 or $30 out of the 50 as my affiliate commission. Is that correct?
Exactly. That's exactly how it works. And I think for a lot of the successful vendors in my space, we make it very attractive for the affiliates to promote our products. And actually, something you'll learn later on, and I don't want to get too kind of far ahead of it here, but a lot of the money can be generated on the back end. So once you get these buyers, these people that bought into you, they bought into your low ticket product for whatever the price is. Actually, you can make way more money by then, having happy customers that you can pitch more stuff to at even better products at better prices. And if they're happy with the original product that they got, they're going to take you up on your other products. And that's where you can make a lot of the money. So what I do when I do these product launches is I give like the majority of the money away to the affiliates because I just want them to send me as much traffic as possible. I want to build as big of a buyer's email list as possible. And I know that if I put out a good product, the people that bought from me through those affiliates are going to keep buying from me again and again and again.
Yes, and so what this is called in marketing is called a leader loss, a loss leader, where you're willing to give up the lion's share, if not all of it, the lion's share of your profits on the front end just to get the buyer, because you recognize that one buyer or one subscriber on your list has monetary value to you.
That's entirely what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and
for sure.
I can testify to the effectiveness of this strategy because first off, you guys been hearing me say this for years. Build a list because a list is your asset. Now, the other thing I've noticed lately is that I make more money with my list over time. In other words, when most people they think that when they build a business, they must sell the customer right away or at that point, the customers start spending less money, or they have a less likelihood of buying with you. Or maybe you've heard this myth, people think that you only have 14 days since the person joins your list before you can convert them and stuff like that. Well, for me, it hasn't been the case, because I ran a series of 3 different webinar promotions to my list in the last 2 months. And what I noticed is that in between those promotions, I've had different people purchase the products, and many of these people have spent more than 90 days on my list without buying anything, which kind of goes to show you that just having them on your list alone is a prerequisite to big success. Now, what I also love about the strategy is that it focuses on building this asset, right? It focuses on building a real business and not just based on a fad or a gimmick, like when people do say, YouTube marketing, right? So when people get on YouTube and they launch a video and they're like, getting a couple thousand views, but then it dies off real quick and they got no more asset, like they got no asset to the business. So building that list is highly important, and I'm happy that we can highlight this particular part of the system just to help our list builders understand that the purpose of every strategy that drives traffic to your business is to first build your list. Now, but you're building the highest possible quality of list. You're building the filet mignon of lists, right? You're building the buyer list, which is people who have spent money with you, have voted for you with their wallets. And from this point forward, it is very easy for them to invest with you again and again and again, which allows you to then build a huge back-end income for your business. So can you dive a little deeper into what happens with your potential? Well, they're not potential, they're actually customers now. What happens with your customers? How do you market to them? What do you offer them once they become a part of your customer database?
So that's a great question. And actually, I've seen it both ways, because I'm in an industry where people will put out a new product every month. And I am one of those people as well. So the majority of the time, I only put out like one of my own products in a single year, because I only have so much information that I want to share with people. But what I will do is I'll actually go out and find people that are experts at one topic, whether it's growing an Instagram channel, making money there, or growing a YouTube channel or whatever. And I'll create a course on each of these different experts. Now, I've seen it happen both ways, where people get these customers and that people that launch every month, and they can't make any money for their list. And they must have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of leads, but nobody trusts them, because they do kind of a burn and churn strategy. Now, I've also seen people that, have just one product launch. They get just one batch of, buyer leads, 1,000 or 1,500 buyer leads, and they can make a small fortune off of that and leverage it and turn it into a legitimate, real, kind of consistent and reliable income. And pretty much the whole thing that determines that is how much people trust you. And so kind of like the burn and churn way is to kind of just jam a bunch of offers where it's very obvious that you don't actually, recommend or have tried or care about what you're recommending to your people. And Igor, when you say that you have people that buy from you way after 90 days, that's because your people know that they can trust you, and they know that your recommendations, you're not just throwing anything at them. You've actually researched and you know what you're showing them. So for me, I spend a lot of my time traveling. So what I like to do now is I like to do like live videos showing people where I am, what I'm doing, allowing them to kind of like be a part of my life and connect with me. And I find the more that people connect with me personally, the more they're willing to trust me and the more they're willing to invest in the recommendations that I give them. And as long as I can protect them by always giving them good recommendations and, always looking out for their best interests, they're going to know, in that whole minefield of people that they're following, that I'm the one that they're really going to pay attention to. Absolutely.
And, one of the most important things, if you want to make big money with your small list, and you really don't need a huge list to make big money, and I've been saying this for years on the show, one of the most important things is to keep an integrity with your list, with your people, because first off, they vote with their wallets, like I've already said, right? And that's a huge, huge part of it. They give you a ton of trust. So don't violate it. But also, they rely on you sometimes blindly. Like I've had people who purchased certain products that later came back to complain to me because they didn't get the results from those products. And that's a real uncomfortable conversation because, even while I can prove that I'm getting results from the product, I can't control what the other person is going to get. So when you realize that it's not just a number on the list, not just an opt-in data, it's not just a megabit of text or code on your computer screen, that it's a real person with real dreams, real desires, real, challenges, what you have to absolutely do is you have to only promote things that you fully believe in, that you can stand behind. And a lot of it, I don't see it online anymore. Like I used to see a ton of affiliates do what you and I do. When they go promote something, they go full out. They'll put their face on it. They'll build pages around it. They'll write a report for it. They'll do like a podcast episode on it. They'll do like a series of 15 YouTube videos, reviewing the entire product and showing the results they're getting from the product. But these days, all I'm seeing is just this churn and burn approach where all they want is give me a no brand, like a video without any branding. Give me a sales funnel where there's someone else's face on it, so I can go and I can promote it and make money incognito style, or maybe tell me how to build a Shopify store so I can promote like a sewing machine or something and make money that way, but nobody will know my name and none of my relatives or friends will find out I'm actually doing the forbidden thing and trying to make money online. Yo, it's Igor. If you're loving the content, hop on over to listbuildinglifestyleshow.com for more free training and a free transcript of this episode. Oh, and I'd really appreciate if you logged into iTunes and rated the show. It really helps. Thanks. So, I agree with you completely about having that integrity, about really, if you recommend something, recommend it only because you believe in it. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't do it often, right? You can do it every month, every week, whatever, but it has to be something legit. And there's plenty of legit things out there for you to recommend. Now, I want to kind of circle back to what you said. So you're a vendor. Many times you're a vendor, sometimes you're an affiliate, but to successfully use the strategy, you have to create offers. Now, most people I know that are trying to make money online, they simply don't understand what an offer is. They don't know what a product is. When you tell them go create a product, it's like for them you've just told them go and solve the Rubik's Cube. They have no clue. So can you simplify it for us? Can you explain to us in a very simplistic way what the hell is a product and what the hell is an offer and why would anyone buy it or promote it?
Okay, so that's a great question actually, but I think basically, there was a very good marketer back in the day. He's still a marketer now, but not in this industry, called Alex Jeffries. And he used to have this saying where he would say, you can't copyright an idea. So essentially what you can do is you can, a lot of people have bought many different courses. I mean, I don't even know how many products I've bought, but I've bought products on pretty much every make money online information topic out there. What you can do is you can buy those products, you can test them out for yourself, you can get a little bit of results with them. And then once you've gotten those results, you can actually create your own information product, just documenting what you did. And basically an info product is just showing people step by step what you've done to make money. So, if you can just implement something, take a little bit of action on a proven system that 100% does work, get a little bit of results with it, and then show other people what you did, you can make a lot of money that way. And that's what happened for me, because I was making $6,000 or $7,000 per month. And so I said, okay, I've got some information here that I know that would be valuable to people to share with them. So I created my first product. It was called 0 Hour Workdays. It's actually available for free today because I wanted to give it away to everybody that goes to see it. And basically in that 0 Hour Workdays, I taught people how I made that $7,000 and what I did. But I made $70,000 from showing people how I made that $7,000. So it's kind of like that analogy that I know has been used a few times where they talk about who gets the most rich and like the gold rush is the people selling the shovels, right? So, and there's nothing really ethically wrong about that, because essentially you're giving people the right information for methods that legitimately work, that are going to make them money when they actually execute and implement them. But then the meta, the even bigger picture, is that you can actually make even more money by showing people about those methods.
Now, I can already hear a question, somewhere in the dark hallways of the list building lifestyle building, if there is one. And there's somebody who's brand new to the business, or who's not brand new, but maybe been trying to do this for 6 to 12 months and wondering, okay, I understand that I need to create a product, but you just said that I need to show them some results. And, well, lo and behold, I have none. What do we do then?
You have a couple different options. First of all, the very simple way, if you're going to do it all yourself, then the simple answer is you can't really put out a product if you don't have results, because that's not really ethical. You're essentially trying to teach people about something you're not an expert on and just wasting everybody's time and money. So really, if it's going to be your product, you do need to figure out a way to make money. But there are a ton of proven systems out there that, the reason why you're not getting results probably is because you haven't taken anything serious enough. And I know that because I've been there, because I was online for 8 years, and I had many years where I made almost no money because I never took anything seriously. And then, all of a sudden 1 month, I just kind of decided, I'm actually going to put some effort into this. And I managed to scrape together, $1,000, $2,000 in a month. And right there, you don't even need to make a ton of money to have a sexy sales headline, like dropout college kid makes $100 a day with a new system. Like that right there, is gonna sell a lot of copies. But if you're sort of you want to put out a product before you're getting results, then you need to form a partnership. And essentially that's what I do a lot in my business. I find somebody that brings one piece of the puzzle, and then I provide the other pieces of the puzzle. So what I do every month is I find somebody that's an expert that has really good information on one topic, and I will run the rest of the product launch, which is actually pretty easy to do. So if you don't want to create your own product, you can find somebody that does have a good product and offer to sell it for them, be sort of like a launch manager in that respect, and then work out on a 50-50 deal so that both parties can get all of those buyer leads.
Yeah, exactly. So what you're saying is, look, there's two components to launching an offer. Either you sell it, market it, or you create it. Now, most marketers, they try to do both, but the reality is you can easily partner up with people who suck at marketing, who don't want to market, have zero desire to do it, may not even have free time to do it, because if they're experts in their field, they're probably in demand and already investing their time into something, and then take their knowledge and launch it as a mutual product with both of your names on that product, and then take the results, split the profits, and get the leads as well. So I've done it. Even I've done it, right? Because I can create products and everything, but there were a couple of things I was really passionate about. For example, I've had an encounter in my life where I realized that my voice sucked, where I realized that my voice was undermining my presence with other people in real life, and even across the web as well, when I'm doing voice only recordings like this podcast. And so what I've done is I've done some voice training. I purchased a product from a social conditioning coach that educated and showed how to take a nasally weak voice and turn it into this confident voice, maybe not Morgan Freeman voice, but still a confident version of your own voice. And it really helped me a lot. So what I've done is I asked this person to create a course that I could market, and I called it Voice That Makes Millions. It's online, available, and sells for $197 right now. You can go to voice.igorsolowitz.com. And basically, this product, when I launched it, made me $10,000. It was an internal launch to my own list. Me and my partner, we split the profits. We never launched it to affiliates or anything like that. I didn't have a need for it. I got busy with other projects. But yes, that strategy works because we were able to leverage his proof, his case studies, his material, and his expert status. And all I had to do is come up with the right angle to sell the product to my audience. As simple as that. And, I didn't even have the rights to the product. You know what I mean? He kept the rights to the product. He hosted the product. He did everything. I just handled the marketing. So he owns his part. I own my part. Really cool one-time partnership. And then he got hired by a big company to do all kinds of creative work for them. So he kind of stepped away from that. My point is that it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or a seasoned veteran. If you don't have a product on a particular topic, but you know you want to tap that niche for whatever reason, you can always find an expert that will be happy to provide you with the content and the proof while you are going to create the marketing. And let's face it, if you can create the marketing, then what the hell are you doing trying to be an internet marketer? So, yeah. All right, cool. So let me ask you this. You've been doing this for a little while now. You've been successful using the strategy on an ongoing basis. So I'm assuming you've developed a system and approach, and you've made a fair share of mistakes that, when you kind of go back and think of them, you'd be like, oh my God, I missed, I left $100,000 on the table over there, $200,000 on the table over there. So what were some of the most painful mistakes that you've ever made with this strategy?
I'll look at a couple things. So first of all, I've definitely found out sort of over the last maybe 8 months, maybe a year even now, that the majority of the money is in high ticket purchases. And, I sell things typically on the front end for $13, and they're really solid courses for $13. But to become rich off of selling $13 products, especially when, the affiliate's getting most of the money, just really doesn't happen. So if you want to make good money, you need to look at your business as sort of like a funnel, but always extending to kind of like better offers at better prices for you. So I look at these product launches as a vehicle to get people into my main I have my flagship main program, which is $2,000. And I use these launches to kind of funnel into that. And I do these workshops where I show people, here's the overview of my business. Here's exactly how I'm running everything. These are the 3 different steps or the 3 different stages of my business. And at the end of the workshop, I say, hey, if this is a business that you want to dive into and you want to get some really good results with, I have my 2K program where I show you everything that I know step by step, has all this done for you, whatever, resources or whatever. But the lion's share, the majority of my money comes from that high ticket purchase, and it comes from those loyal customers that have had good experiences with me on the lower ticket purchases. And so I guess one of the mistakes is I did a few product launches where I didn't have any back end strategy in mind. I didn't have any, better product or high ticket product where I was really kind of giving the most amount of value for the biggest price. So that was kind of a big mistake. The other thing that I've really learned from doing these product launches is the product launches that do the best of mine are the ones that are the most differentiated. And the product launches that have done the worst for me are the ones that look the most cookie cutter. They kind of like blend in. And I think with my market, and probably with a lot of markets online, people don't want to buy something that they've bought before. And a lot of people have bought a lot of these products, and myself included. I bought a ton of these products. So it's like we're always looking for the new thing, the different thing, because why am I going to waste my time buying the thing that I've already bought, 3 times before? It doesn't make any sense. So I'm really only going to be continuing to invest my money on something that I think is different than what I bought before and might give me that piece of the puzzle that I need to kind of make a run at this.
Yeah, absolutely. So the 2 most powerful words in advertising are new and free. Right. So if you can position your stuff as new, even if it's not, you will usually make more sales. And that is why everything that you see coming out, even though most of these things are not new by any means, they're positioned as this groundbreaking new thing. In fact, one of the most profitable promotions of all time that's still going on, I mean, it's an evergreen promotion that I run to my list in the follow-up, is called the new traffic source. Now, incidentally, it happens to be a completely new traffic source. Like, this is the one time, but it's not made up. But when the word new added to the very familiar word traffic source alone has completely transformed the landscape of the business. And I have clients who purchase traffic from us. Then they see that promotion and they say, hey, can you pause my stuff? And I would like to run that only on the basis that it's new, and obviously because I can show like a gazillion case studies of it converting. So, but yeah, I completely agree with you that if it looks like the same old thing, nobody will buy it for sure. But the first tip you gave us offering a high ticket back end on the back of your product, that is probably a game changer. That is the biggest game changer ever, because you can easily quadruple your revenue each and every month just by adding one high ticket offer to the back end of your funnel. I know I did. So that's a big tip. All right, cool, Brendan. Well, you shared a ton with us today. I took a full page worth of notes. There's quite a few things I want to go and implement in my business now. But I'm sure we got plenty of listeners who are wondering, okay, well, Brendan knows his stuff. Where can I learn more about him and how to work with him? So if anyone wants to work with you, how can they do that?
The best way, I have a YouTube channel, a little bit over 50,000 subscribers on there. I'm kind of one of the main vendors on Warrior Plus. My offers on Warrior Plus usually are either the top or near the top of the best-selling leaderboards there, because, like I said, people tend to rebuy from me. They buy from me again and again and again. So you can buy into any one of my products and you'll get on my email list that way. And there's also 0 Hour Workdays. Like I said, if you go to 0hourworkdays.com, that is my first product that I ever put out that showed how I was making like $9,000 a month at the time. And that's now, I've made that completely free. So anybody can get in there and kind of see kind of what I'm doing in my business as kind of like a free appetizer introduction.
Free appetizer, right. So the main course is then to find one of your paid products and go buy them. Guys, you can start out on 0hourworkdays.com. All right, if you want to grab Brendan's free course on how he made $7,000 online back in the day before he started, before he really went big and exploded on this industry. So right now, as you've heard, you can find most of his programs on the Warrior Plus network. That's an affiliate network, kind of like JVZoo or ClickBank. And if you want to work with him, again, you can also find him on YouTube by going on youtube.com and searching for Brendan with an A, Brendan Mace. You'll find his YouTube channel that's always full of interesting content. So, Brendan, thank you very much for investing the time to educate the list builders. It was very informative, very entertaining. And I really appreciate you sharing your $70,000 per month system with us.
Awesome. It's been a real pleasure, man. Thanks for having me on.
All right. So till next time we chat, have a good one. Thank you for tuning in to the List Building Lifestyle. Get access to previous episodes, the transcript of today's show, and exclusive content at our website at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. Also, don't forget to claim your free seat at the traffic workshop I'm conducting this week, where I'm showing how I built a list of 4,331,656 email subscribers without losing money, and how my clients are putting anywhere from 50 to 500 new leads per day on their list at a profit without any list building experience. Just go to igor.cx to claim your free seat now.